I will be sharing some experience from today. So may my difficulty have some benefit to other beings. May my sharing about the emotion bring us to the indestructible nature of compassion and wisdom of our own mind and of all other beings' mind, which has been polluted due to fear, attachment, oppression as the root of ignorance. May the basic nature of the mind reveal itself, and may all obscuration dissolve in their very nature. May a single lamp dispel eons of darkness. May that be the view. May this recognition of this single light never be lost, even in the darkest of deaths. Beings may hear it clearly. When the sound of this bell or the light of this lamp is seen, the baby Buddha is born in our very own mind stream. Mm. So today there was some pleasant sunshine, which could have some relaxation. But this kind of a relaxation brings in the fear that when I was young, I could do some joy things sometimes, like see someone or have some freedom, do some movement. But at the end of the day, I had to return to the house of my abusers, to the dark prison, to the abuse, the deprivation, the violence, the oppression, the torture. So it feels like this kind of relaxation is pointless because I will have to go back to the pain anyway. And if I enjoy this moment, going back there is also much more painful because no one listens to that pain. No one wants to save me from that. Why would I ever believe I will be free from it? Why would I ever believe someone will treat me better when no one has ever acknowledged that, nor offered care or help? This is some very kind of mm, very, very deep and big oppression. And now with the other kind of law cases and such going on, it really brings that kind of denial up. Because even when that kind of relaxation is there, but then the difficulty, even if we're helpless in the moment, we can see it as an obstacle and it will be dissolved again, then it's okay. But especially when the suffering is denied, we become very, very, very helpless. Because how can we do anything if we say that the baby is not crying when it is? How can we ever offer it care when the entire society says that is denying the abuse and the torture, whilst behind closed doors you go through hell and through the unimaginable? We will believe it's a normal. We will believe that's what everyone goes through when the light turns dark. But it doesn't have to be like that. But maybe it is like that now on a very kind of general level. Imagine that you're the only black person in a white racist society. It's a very, very difficult. But that's your truth. If we can see the causes and the conditions of the suffering, if we can understand the suffering, then compassion is born automatically. If we can look deeply and see clearly, then the care is naturally there. But we might face an entire society of oppression because they believe that those kind of the people that are the abusers, they believe that they are the saviors. So your reality is destroying their refuge of maybe your abuser is like a king or a rich person or an educated person or a professor, someone that has a high valued position in the society. So in that kind of situation, you will feel that thing, that oppression. Because the moment you say I'm abused, no, 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 those people are good people. I trust them. They're my friends. But it's a lie. They are running from their feeling. And so they're rejecting their feeling and now they're rejecting yours. But they were in a golden bubble and you were in the bubble of the people that they were protected from. You were in their bubble and you couldn't have that care or protection. So in this kind of situation, it's a very difficult because when that natural care comes there, when that natural care that has been suppressed comes, all of that rejection, shame from the outside will come again. So it's a really an art. And I don't have the answer to this, but I do know that. So imagine that you're abused. You will naturally want to escape that. Then there might be someone that actually wants to help you. That's amazing. Maybe there is someone that wants to help but cannot, so they can acknowledge. I think it's also good. But then there are the people that reject you. They will blame. They will do victim blaming, and the ones that reject victim blame maybe enable, maybe further abuse, use the opportunity to abuse the weak. All of this is just extra harmful. So then, so naturally, like with these kind of people, anger arises because they're further threatening us. It's like you want to escape the abuser and they'll put you back with them. That's what's been done to me so many times. And I actually escaped, but people said, no, go back because they are good people. It's just so disgusting. So it's, these people also harm to us because it would have been better if they were not there. But that kind of helplessness, all that anger, all that boundaries, all that safety that has been intruded, and we couldn't do anything, and no one cared. That's a very, very painful. When there is no care, when there is no belief in escape, there is no belief in care, and all we feel is an endless pain that is inescapable because no one gives a shit. I give a shit, and I will fight for you because you are like my child, because I'm that child in me, and I can see the sunshine, and I can see the river, but I can also see the egocentrical monster abusing their own children out of entitlement. And yes, even that monster has a little child inside also, but this is not the way. Hmm. So it's really interesting how that care really triggers so much guilt, huh? Because it's a true. The monster is using you as a way to escape their pain the moment they don't have you anymore to rape or abuse. Where will they go with their pain? And now we feel guilty for that because we believe that was our destiny to be used as a tool so they could escape their pain. That was our only use. Because if we couldn't even be used for that, then just a piece of trash. Behind the guilt is really deep pain. The deepest kind of rejection, but really like a worthless piece of shit. You're not even. You're so disgusting that you're that worthless that I'm not even gonna abuse you. That's like holy shit. So I have that pain also. So again, I really want to give a positive message, and I'm like, fuck, we're sinking in this fuck. But you know, that's what it was like. There is no positive message because there was none. And all the society gave these stupid fucking fake positive messages. That it's all gonna be fine and it's not that bad. Well, fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are? You weren't even there. You don't know fucking anything, and you're there to even open your mouth. The arrogance. So yeah, that kind of feeling of not being even worthy to be abused. That kind of completely helpless in that. And we tried everything to escape it, to run from it, to dissociate, to do drugs. I mean, eat food, make it go away. But it didn't work. We couldn't escape it. We couldn't escape it. And when people saw that, when they saw you disgusting and dirty and completely helpless in that, they looked at you with their eyes down with disgust on that dirty piece of. Because you wish to be clean and happy and healthy and safe, but you tried everything. Because the society blames you. Why is that person doing that to themselves? It's a bullshit. It's because people put you there with violence and force. And we can't deny it. couldn't escape it. We could run from it, have some fun, sit in the sun for an hour, just to get it all over again. All we longed for was to be free from it, but we were rejected and shamed a billion times, or even more. Can we really sink into that truth? That it couldn't, that we couldn't save ourselves, that the monsters were too strong and too brutal and too compassionateless, too cruel. Because when we really sink into that, if we can really see the truth, then we can also see our innocence. When we can clearly see the causes, we know that it's not eternal. It's not because of us. Because who are we? We don't have that power. We cannot go beyond our interconnectedness. We are just born into that in our innocence and simplicity. But that is never lost. And it's true. how can how can they ever do that to an innocent child? You know, it's just an innocent girl, just an innocent boy playing, trying to have just like a basic thing, some food, some water, some friends, some playing, and they abused it like a piece of trash. That's really what they were capable of. It's not because you were dirty, no. You are beautiful and innocent. Mm. Because people believe that, no, like when they are abused, especially the rape kind of situation. Once that happens, it's like that disgust gets latched onto me, and I'll never feel safe and clean again. But because we don't believe how people can do something so disgusting, how they can do that to a very beautiful, innocent child. But that's the deeper nature. They projected that disgust, but it's not true. And I just want to say when I'm talking about all this, people will say like, "Oh, he got kidnapped and something bad happened to him. Or like maybe this happened to him, but I didn't do this. But yes, whatever I'm speaking about here, all that kind of pain and abuse and the trauma, it's because of my parents and because of my further family. That's what they did. That's the truth. No one else did it. The society allowed it. Yes. There was no one to acknowledge it. Yes. Because they put on masks and they put on fake stories of how amazing they are. So they could keep doing it. But we have to clearly see that what are the causes of harm and what are the causes of growth, well being, and safety. If we get that confused up, we will always be confused. But that's what happens because we depend on abusers. The people that gave me this physical body are also the ones that destroyed and abused this physical body to the point that it, it, it didn't even couldn't survive. So the people that made you alive are the people that also killed you. Maybe, at least in my case. When Thich Nhat Hanh spoke with Martin Luther King, after Martin Luther King passed away, Thich Nhat Hanh wrote a letter, and in the letter there was something like they could create him, but they could not keep him alive. So the conditions were present for a person like Martin Luther King to manifest in its full glory, but the conditions were not present in America to keep it alive, to respect it. So he got killed by the same system that kind of created him. Of course, it's not so kind of fixed, but in a very kind of flexible and general sense. Of course, it's not really like that now because even before I was born, my parents were probably still abusers and rapists. It's just that there are so many other conditions that can create life in all this harm and terror. What can we trust, right? Because we cannot trust anyone, no one. So we cannot trust the good in people because that the good in people would not allow that to happen. But Father, forgive them because they do not know what they do. When I think of the other children, I would give my life 1,000 times to save them. I think we can trust that because maybe we're ignorant also. Maybe now we have some means, some money, some privileges, but maybe someone comes and begs for help, but we don't hear their cries. We're so busy with our own thing, and we leave them to die. We leave them to be abused, just like the society did with us. So if we can really zoom out and really see all these causes and conditions, then we can see clearly where the harm is coming from. We can see clearly what what is also the potential that is not inherent. And we can also see that kind of thing that we will do anything to help because we know what it's like. But right now we might feel very helpless and we don't have anyone. And when we speak or ask anyone for help, all we hear is blame. They want you to forget. They want you to leave the past in the past. That's ignorant and stupid. Because what's here in the present is also present. The past is here and the future is also here. But the past and the future, they are not separate entities. You cannot make an apple tree become a pineapple, but we can plant the seed for the pineapple. But maybe there is no seed yet, or the ground is not ready for the pineapple to grow. Because of the past. Because of the past. It's not possible. It's simply not possible. And then people go into self blame. But we cannot go beyond the conditions that we are given. Maybe you will grow the most beautiful pineapple, so much more beautiful than anyone. Because why? Because you know very well about the ground for the pineapple. Because all those people, they got the very, very good ground. They don't have to worry about anything. This pineapple just grow. But we were given trash, and the poison, our ground is a poison. So we really have to take care of the ground. Taking care of the ground is taking care of the past. When we take care of the past, we may develop the most beautiful conditions for happiness, compassion, and joy. Because we know, we understand, we understand the causes and the conditions. And maybe the ground is still very poisonous, and we don't have anything because then the other farmers are not helping us. They are not giving us the tools they have, but they're blaming and they're saying, why you're not growing? Because you're stupid. So let's finish with that kind of pain, that kind of deprivation of the past, and then that rejection from the society of that pain. If that's of the ground that is a poison. So this is autoimmune disease, by the way. Uh, to any doctors out there, the only way to heal that is to take care of the past, is to create the conditions for that poison, for that tension to release. If we keep piling stuff on there, if we keep giving medicine, it's uh, it's just getting worse and worse because it's not seeping through the ground. When it rains, the poison can seep through the ground and like that. It will dissolve in itself. But trauma has put blocks there, and it's interconnected with the ground, so you can't just remove it. So that's if we can transform that, then the body will be healthy also. But it's not by blaming or piling. So it's the pain and the rejection of the society that further reifies that, which always makes the pain bigger. So we can see how that feeling may move in next conversation. So for all beings throughout space, may we return to the original face as the mirror display of our true nature. There is nothing that binds us, only confusion reifies the actual, the appearance. But ultimately, as the Great Mother, whatever arises is our dearest child. Just like a mirror, we reflect the appearance of the child, but we are never bound by it. because when we're bound by it, we cannot care for it anymore. And we become full of fear and attachment. So may we find the union of the mother and the child inside of us, so that the appearance and care and hope and compassion may dawn in every moment. Ultimately, may all beings realize their true nature. May bodhicitta arise where it has not arisen, and may it increase where it has already arisen. May the kingdom of God be established in this very moment. That is what we can contribute to our children.